Hi, and welcome to Girl Talk. Yes, I am here today at Birdie James with my dear friend Michelle Taylor, looking extraordinarily sophisticated this spring morning.
Thank you.
I like your glasses. They are quite the style. Your hair is amazing.
There's a change there, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a month of adventure, of loving and happiness and loss and all kinds of things for you. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
So what's going on in your world?
Well, a lot. Yesterday we just spent some time speaking for the Chamber Young Professionals panel. I was on a panel with some amazing people, and it was an interesting opportunity for me because coming up on 2 years for Birdie James, I haven't had many. I've spoken at fashion shows and things, but I haven't really had a speaking engagement quite like this. So I was a bit nervous for it, but
Andrew was there, Andrew Carmine's,
yes,
Mike Overton. You had some wonderful people speaking.
It was great. I was anxious, like I said, but I was glad I pushed myself to do it because it was neat to be speaking in front of young professionals. Andrew cracked a joke that he took offense to the question of what would you tell your young professional self, and he said, darn it, I'm still a young professional.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
so we're not that far away. I feel like I'm still in the midst of it. It's not, we're successful, but we're trying to sustain that.
Well, so my question, this is the typical Debbie and Michelle talking, but what is a young professional? Is that a chronologic thing, or is that a 65-year-old who's still growing and learning?
That's a great question, because I think in a lot of ways Mike Overton can still be a young professional if he's open to growth. So it's just, I think it's really, what came through is that we were all imperfect. We had this expectation. I think that one of the themes was that we all felt the desire and the need to be perfect when we were young. And so
interesting.
I feel that shift happened in my late 20s and early 30s, and now, if I make a mistake, I can own it a little bit more.
Kind of bringing this full circle to Birdie James, goals, expectations, where you feel like you are, style. How does it all play together for you? Because it really does.
Yeah. I mean, the style, the expectations, I feel like sometimes I'm trying to look into a crystal ball and get it right all the time. And so we have to be relevant always and changing. And I feel like as long as we stay true to who we are, what our vision is, and I'm an instinctual person. So if I go with my instincts, then it's like disputing someone's feelings. You can't dispute almost like an instinct, So, and I feel like we've been pretty spot on so far.
Isn't this the Hattie's birthday month?
Yes. So Hattie's birthday, she would love to hear that. Birthday month, like a present every day.
It's birthday festival month. Right?
Yeah, we try not to spoil her too much, but her birthday's Saturday.
This is her daughter, in case you don't know.
Yeah, Hattie will be 5. And what's significant about this week is that there's a lot of loss for us this week, but there's also life, which is pretty neat. So my mother's I guess death anniversary is today. She passed away 3 years ago today. So that's really present for us. We're going to do a balloon release later on.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Which is a way that we just try to keep Hattie involved with knowing my mother.
Yep.
And we talk about loss a lot in our family and death, what death means and where Grammy is, and we put her up. We're not particularly religious people, but we're spiritual, and so we put her up there in heaven, because I find it good to have a place for where she is.
What a great teachable moment for your kids.
Yeah, so she's also everywhere. It was so funny one day we were driving home from Savannah, and she said to my husband and I just saw Grammy in the bushes, and my husband and I went, oh no,
geez, here we go.
But I think we talk about it in the car sometimes. They say it's a good place to talk with your children about things because they don't feel like it's too in your face. It's just kind of like an open conversation, and so we tend to talk about those tougher things in the car.
It normalizes life, don't you think? I mean, I think it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And one of the things when I first met you that you were excited about having your own boutique was because you felt like it was a real lifestyle kind of store, if you will.
Right.
Where there was more to it than just walking in and buying a pair of shoes.
Right. Absolutely. And that kind of, this day for me kind of is a part of our culture, sort of. I'm kind of struggling with how to articulate it, but our clients,
it embodies
yes,
your philosophies
yeah,
in my world for you.
And my clients are important to me, and they're sort of my mentors. So right at the beginning of this journey, I lost my mother, but
you gained a bunch of us, right? Which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Don't confuse emotion with weakness, right? Should we switch now to talk about clothing?
No,
is that
I'm
the way
fine
we
with
do
this.
it? Okay.
But it's neat. It's really neat to have so many supportive women.
It is. It is. And I think what's been fun for you and for all the women that have been supportive is you have this sort of extended family right now that come in not just to support you and buy clothing, but also
Right.
events and talking. It's a place to share. It's
Absolutely.
a place to feel confident
It's
and comfortable.
And comfortable, yeah. And that's what's really important to us here, is that women can come in and they can feel a part of something.
Yes. And I think it's amazing. Well, it is, look at you, it is a treat to talk to you. I absolutely love it. We're going to take a quick break, but we will come back. There's a lot more to come here on Girl Talk.